So my son started a new daycare because his closed. Fun. And this past summer, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make mom friends. And they had a pizza party, very similar to what she was faking over there. And my husband couldn't come. And so I was just feeling like very awkward. Of course, my kids made friends in 8 seconds. And I'm walking around and I saw a little girl that was in my son's class sitting by her mom. And I was like, it's happening. And so I went and I sat down by him on the curb and I was like, hi, little Betty Lou, it's Judah's mom. And I start talking to her about things and she's just like eating her pizza. Like, I can't believe this adult's talking to me. So I start talking to her mom and trying to find out about them. And I'm like, I think this is going well. I think she likes me. And then I go, okay, so like, do you have any other kids other than Betty Lou? And this woman goes, oh, this isn't my daughter. She just sat here. And I was like, oh, okay, sorry. And then Betty Lou's mom, you guys, comes over and is like, Betty, come here. I don't know who these people are. And I was like, guys, Betty Lou's mom has not talked to me since. Okay, so it's going great. But thank God we have some women who are gonna help us with this today who are like real life friends. So Julie and Lisa, get on up here, girls. Yeah, they are gonna break it down for us. Hopefully give us a little insight on how to make friends, how to keep friends, how to not be boycotted by the other moms.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No cancel culture. No cancel culture. Hey, online, how are you doing? Can we just give it up for our online mamas? We're so glad you're still with us. You're still with us. We're so glad you're here. Oh my gosh. Jamie, hi. All the mamas at Jamie's, hi. Okay. Hi. Okay, we are actually real life friends. We are actually real life friends. So it's actually kind of a funny story of I knew about her before I knew her. So Joel and I were on staff at a different church here in town, and Joel's admin at the time, she came to me one day and she's like, hey, do you ever listen to K-Love? I said, well, sometimes, yes. And she said, do you ever listen in the mornings? I said, well, sometimes, because I've got kids and it's usually VeggieTales, whatever. And she said, well, this gal that does the morning show, Lisa Williams on K-Love, she does the morning show, and I'm telling you, she looks at life just like you do. She talks like you. She I hear her and I think about you. And I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of fun, whatever. She wasn't even living in town at the time. Fast forward, maybe a year and a half later, all of a sudden, Lisa Williams from K-Love, who's no longer with K-Love, is standing in the lobby of our church, and her husband at the time got hired by the church that we were all serving on, and I'm standing there going, well, hi, Lisa Williams from K-Love. How you doing? How you doing? And she was standing there, and she was a bit fried out.
Yeah, that's a really good memory for me because...
Yeah, how fried out you were.
I was burned out. I was having panic attacks. There's a lot of reasons why I left Caleb, but I had panic attacks. I had a lot of unresolved stuff. And so we left, and he took a children's pastor's job here, and I was so fried.
Yeah.
And she honed in on me.
I'm like,
and you know what she did? It was 2011, and she had a women's retreat up in the mountains.
Yeah.
And she was like, I really want you at that retreat. I'm like, oh no, we don't have the money for it. I can't go. On the inside going, no, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go on a retreat. I don't want to be around other women. I just want to be alone. And she's like, scholarshiped. I'm like, God. And then I get there.
Do not ever come and talk to me and say I cannot go because of money. I'm just saying.
I don't want to go. I should have said, I don't want to go. But then, and then we roomed together. You had this cabin thing. I think, all I know is I saw her in the Word. She was poring over the Word one morning, and I remember thinking, I want to be her friend because you love the Word, and I love the Word.
Yeah.
And then she said, you're speaking tonight. No, I am not.
You have a story to tell.
And then she gave me the microphone, and I spoke.
Yes, you did.
That's how our friendship started.
I know. I remember standing there looking at her going, oh, yeah, she's gonna talk. Here we go. She's like, I don't believe you're making me do this. I know. But then a few months later, after this, we're standing out in the lobby at the church.
And thank you for letting us tell our stories. I've been praying that there's something that we say in this segment that means something to you and that it helps you in your journey. I've prayed 18 times for that, so get what you can from this. I sound like Joy. We were in children's ministry, and it was very busy, and she just had so many children, and I would always see her.
Seriously.
And
They're
she went to
everywhere.
Ouachita Baptist University for 1 year. I went to Ouachita Baptist University for 1 year. I'm like, how odd is that?
And we were 1 year apart. And we
Yeah.
lived on the same floor.
But
we
different,
never met.
This is our meet cute. And so then I just saw her one day, and I'm like a Holy Spirit kind of girl, you know. I'm always like, I lean a little charismatic, you know, and I'm always like, the Lord has said. But it kind of felt like that energy coming out of me because I was like, you and I are best friends, and we just don't know it yet.
She did. I remember that day.
She just walked
we're
by me. I was like,
ding,
we're
ding,
best
ding.
friends, and
You
we just don't know it yet.
Yeah. You're like ping-ponging.
The Lord on the inside, you know?
Yeah, you're just like ping pong. You know, Sunday mornings are sometimes the worst. I just feel like I need a blanket apology whenever I leave on Sunday mornings because I'm like, I still want to talk to everybody, but you just ping pong sometimes on a Sunday morning. And so I was doing that, and she just like stopped me. And you know how that sometimes when a friend just like locks in with you, and she's just like, we are gonna be friends, and it was jarring. Going,
You
whoa.
said you went into the car and cried, though. You got in
Whoa.
the car and cried that day.
Yeah.
You were lonely.
Yes, because we are. We're just lonely as moms. And I think we all, again, we can all agree, we want friends. None of us set out to go, I am going to be a hermit. We just don't. We end up there sometimes because we just have life and things and we just, you know, whatever. But sometimes we struggle making friends as moms. And so
Friendship's tricky. I don't know if y'all feel that, but I feel like friendship's a little tricky. There's different kinds of friends, and there's the different. We're good friends because we let it breathe a lot. We don't have to talk every day.
yeah.
We don't have to, you know. We don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when we need each other or when we're together, it's like, yeah, we've
Yeah.
been through a lot together.
Yeah. But I think one of the reasons why it's hard to find friends as mom is we're just flat out busy. Aren't we we're so busy, right? And we've just got so much that we're ping-ponging against life. And it's just, we just are so busy and we just don't stop long enough to go, I actually need a friend. Do you feel like does everybody feel that way? I feel like I need a friend. I feel like I need friendships. But you just don't think about it that much.
Friendships are so awesome.
I know. Here's what's interesting, because my daughter, she was here for like a second, but she said it's so, because she's 20. She's like, it's, you know, when you're in middle school, when you're in school and high school, y'all have this common interest, and everybody is just like this big amoeba. You just like go to the games, and then you go to the prom, and then you've got natural friends, and you're naturally connected because you're with each other for 8 hours a day. But then, she's like, but then you're an adult. Adulting's hard. And you just don't have those natural connections every single day. And so you have to figure it out and you have to be intentional about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about friendship because I knew I was going to be saying this in the microphone and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about people like Jess Olson, who's here from Boise. And like, I don't talk to her. We talk like maybe we text every couple months. But when I see her, there's like a red thread of friendship. Like, oh, you're my friend. You know, I know her. She knows me. I feel that way about Natalie. I feel that way towards Allie. You know, it's not like we talk every day. You're my friend. How are you doing? Why didn't you call me? You know, it's more just like this connection. But
Yeah.
And I think God might be strategic in who he brings in our lives.
Yeah.
I would like to acknowledge the risk of trying to become someone's friend. You kind of have to
Yeah.
put yourself out there.
I know.
You might be rejected.
I know.
Then you might get into the friendship and think, I don't really want to be friends with
Yeah.
you. And now I'm in it.
I know.
You know what? I'm being honest.
It happens.
Right? It's just kind of like an ebb and flow. Definitely something to pray about
I know.
and stuff. But when my life blew up, I just want to tell God, thank you. When my life blew up, she showed up at my house. And I just remember it was just so unique. She was like, you don't have to be on social media. You can lay on the floor and cry. She said this literally. You don't have to be on social media. You can lay on the floor and cry. You can take however long. It just was like, thank God someone sees me and kind of is ministering to me. And then vice versa. I mean, like, I was thinking how friendship looks like this. You know what I mean? It's kind of like this. And then sometimes it's like, you know? And then the same for you. Like
Right.
when it all hits the fan, it's kind of like, I can be here for you as long as we need to help
Yeah.
you get through this. Because that's another thing you said to me once. I was in my kitchen and I said, I'm not going to make it. You said, I'm not going to make it. And she was like, you are going to make it. You are getting to the other side of this. And I believed her.
Yeah.
I believed her. And I've said it to other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I've said the same thing to other people.
Yeah, because you do.
It's friendship.
Because you do. I think we had a good phrase. What was that? Where your feet are at. Who said that? Yes. Where your feet are at. I think we can anybody a great overanalyzer right here. Right here. I'm such a good overanalyzer. And it's like, well, I should find a friend and I should do this and I should do that and I should do that. And I think sometimes we make it so much more difficult than we need to. And it's, okay, where are my feet? And who is in front of me? Who are my natural connections with? Maybe I go to church with somebody. Maybe I am in school with somebody. Maybe I at work with somebody. And I wonder if it's not just as simple as going, God, I kind of want a friend. Can you just open my eyes? Can you just open my eyes and go, maybe there's somebody that needs my friendship or I need theirs. And maybe there's somebody just right there where your feet are at. And it's not this thing. It's not this whole thing that I can overanalyze.
This is one of the reasons I like having Julie as a friend by Lisa Williams. One of the reasons I like having Julie as a friend is whenever I get with her, like, she always goes, girl, how was that trip? Did he pass his test? How's it going with, like, she remembers things about me and she leads with it. When sometimes I kind of feel isolated and here's this person who's like, tell me what happened at therapy.
Yeah.
What did they tell you?
Yeah, you got a bridge.
Yeah, she just comes in.
Yeah.
And she cares about me. And I have to intentionally go, yep, that's everything about me. What's going on with Isaiah?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I have to flip it on her. I like that kind of friend. You know, so there's an ebb and flow.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Joy last night, and she did the same thing. She was like, how is JD? How is Jesse? How are things going with your jobs? And I thought, she's never going to stop asking me about me because she's so nice. So I went, tell me about your daughter right now. Because you have to, like, do this thing with a friendship. You know, it's always got to be this.
Yeah. But understanding that there's grace. Because sometimes you might just show up and go, it's about me, and I'm going to vomit all over you. I'm going to word vomit all over you. I'm going to emotion vomit all over you. And it might just be about you. And you have to, as the corresponding friend, just go, okay, I'm just going to give you some grace right now. And I'm just going to make it about you. And that's okay. Because it'll come around. And so I think so one, you have to be intentional. You do. Because friendship just doesn't fall into your lap. It just doesn't. I mean, her like saying, yeah, we're going to be best friends. Well, who does that? Nobody. But that's intentionality, right? That's intentionality. And so how can you be intentional with the people around you? Because you're a great person. You are. Somebody wants to be your friend. And maybe we want to be friends. And let's do that, okay? So let's figure that out and just get vulnerable. Get vulnerable and just go, hey, let's go grab coffee sometime. Let's just go do that. Why not?
Yeah, that's good.
Because people's stories are awesome.
One time, JD asked me about two of his body parts. And he was little. And I'm the kind of mom who's like, I am very, very honest about everything. I'll just tell you anything you ask. I'll be like, my kids know everything. And so he asked me about his body parts. And I was like,
his male body parts.
And he's like, what are these for? And I was like, oh, well, they produce, Julie, it's Lise. JD just asked me about two of his body parts and what they're for. I'm not ready to tell him. Just tell him they're boy parts. I love you. They're boy parts. He went, oh, thanks. That was one of the most important moments of my life in friendship because sometimes you just don't know what to do in a situation and you have to, like Kayla said, you have to ask for help.
You do.
You know, and you have to know somebody that you can text or call. You have to build bridges because, like, not to always talk about my trauma, but when my life imploded, it was so nice to have someone who knew me already. And I have to admit, sometimes I felt like I was in the middle of the ocean standing on top of her head, pushing her into the water kind of friendship. I felt bad sometimes, but we weathered all that and remained friends. And then when you do go through hard times together, it kind of galvanizes a friendship, like, because you really know each other. I just don't want you to go through hard times alone, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say you're going to go through hard times, but you know how life is.
There are
Lay
also,
a foundation.
You had this, there's friends that are there for a reason, a season, and
And for life.
and for life. So there's sometimes you have friends that are there for a reason because you work with them, or there's just friends that are there for a particular reason, right? Because A, B, and C.
I've had Jesus bring people into my life for a season for something that needed to happen, and then they're gone. And the part of me that's like, I don't know, needy, I guess, is like, what happened to that friendship? What did I do wrong? Why can't I have that friendship? Where did they go? Why aren't I talking to them anymore? And sometimes I just have to be more mature and kind of go, that was just for a season.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And there's a grace for that, but just do it as graciously as possible, obviously. Don't light a match on your way out. I mean, you could. Yeah. Here's the last thing that I want to talk about. If you all are on Instagram, not that we're social media hounds, if you're all on Instagram, go follow Joy. Go follow her. Here's what I love about her and what we can incorporate in our friendships is that embrace the imperfection. Embrace the imperfection in yourself, in others. Joy is staying at my house, and I'm thinking, okay, here's what's real, okay? I've got crumbs all over my stovetop. I've got a mess here. Literally, my golden retriever is in labor currently as we speak. And good chance tonight we're gonna come home to little baby puppies.
Door prizes.
And so, no, oh my gosh! No, my word. Okay. Anyways, I'm like, Joy, come on in. Here's my house. Here's my crazy world. Kayla will say this, like I've heard her say it. She's like, come over to my house. I've got laundry on the couch. Who cares? Does anybody care if you walk into a house and you see a bunch of laundry on a couch? No. And do we apologize when it's our house? Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Can we all just say it out loud? I don't care. Thank you. Exactly. And just give that grace. And just give that grace for one another, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that went fast.
It did.
For us, it might have been long for them.
It might have been so long for them, but so quick for us.
So I'm going to pray for you and your friendships real quick, and then we're going to do some table time.
Yeah. And so at your tables, what's hard? Let's just say what's hard about friendships, and what works. Maybe y'all can give each other some tips at your tables for just a few minutes, okay?
Father, I was just thinking how Jesus is a friend that sticks closer than a brother, and that Jesus, you can teach us about friendships. I always like thinking about you and John, Jesus, and how tight you were, and what a special friendship that was. And so I just pray for my sisters in this room, all of us, that we would understand more profoundly what friendship is, and that, I know this is a bold ask, but here I go. Would you please give everyone in the room a deep, good friendship? If they don't have one right now, Lord, that you would just bring them a friend. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Okay, talk amongst yourselves.